There's a level of discipline that doesn't impress people. It disturbs them, not because it's extreme, because it's permanent. No breaks, no resets, no "I'll start again," just execution. And once you see how it works, you won't be able to unsee it, because the truth is simple. You're not inconsistent. You're still allowed to stop. You fail for one reason, not laziness, not discipline. You've seen them, the one who never misses, not once. They don't hype themselves up. They don't need motivation. They don't fall off. They just show up again, again, again. And after a while, it stops looking impressive. It starts looking wrong. People say, "Yeah, that's not normal." They're right. It's not. Because what you're looking at is not discipline. It's removal. Something has been cut out of them. And what's missing is the part of you that negotiates. Motivation isn't your problem. It's your escape plan. Chapter 1. The loop you can't escape. Raphael wasn't lazy. That's what made it worse. He was capable, smart, structured, ambitious, and still. He couldn't stay consistent for more than 2 weeks. Gym, dead by week 3. Meditation, gone in days. Books, bought, never finished. Same script. Every time. Monday, this is it. Wednesday, maybe later. Friday, collapse. Sunday, guilt, dressed up as a plan. Repeat. You don't lack discipline. You protect your ability to quit. But here's the part that actually broke him. One night, his girlfriend looked at him and said, "Why do you keep saying things you don't do?" No anger, no drama, just disappointment. That hit harder than failure, because for the first time, he didn't feel undisciplined. He felt predictable, and predictable is worse. Chapter 2. The rule that kills options. In certain Zen temples, there's a rule, practice, without gaps, no exceptions, no negotiations, no identity outside the practice. For centuries, a bell rings at 3:30 a.m. and every monk stands up. No hesitation, no delay, no thought. That thought never forms. Should I skip? It's gone. Deleted. Because they removed the most dangerous thing in your life. Choice. You fail for one reason, no effort, options. Your brain has 2 modes, reversible or irreversible. If it's reversible, you negotiate. If it's irreversible, you execute. Monks don't build discipline. They remove the ability to quit. Dibarfursi. Pain redirected. Raphael made one change. He made failure visible. I meditate at 5 a.m. every day. 90 days. Posted, signed, locked. Now quitting wasn't quiet. It had a cost. Day 3 came. Same voice. You're tired. Skip it. It doesn't matter. But something new appeared. You'll have to explain this. For the first time, quitting felt heavier than continuing. That's the flip. You don't build discipline. You price quitting out of your life. Chapter 4. The near break day. 11. 4:58 a.m. He's awake, staring at the ceiling, exhausted, and for a moment, he almost escapes. He reaches for the phone, not to snooze, to delete the post, erase the commitment, rewrite reality before anyone sees. That's the real breaking point. Not skipping, erasing who you said you were. He pauses and realizes something terrifying. If he deletes this, nothing changes. He goes back to being predictable, forgettable, replaceable. The version of him that needs motivation doesn't survive this. He drops the phone. Get up. Not because he wants to, because there's nothing left to negotiate. Chapter 5. Where you actually lose. You don't fail during action. You fail in hesitation, the 5 seconds before movement. And every time you hesitate, you vote for your old identity. So he removed time. 5 a.m. final. Chapter 6. The escape you didn't see. Your problem isn't inconsistency, it's freedom. Every option is an exit. So he killed that too. Same routine, same sequence, same structure. No variation. Chapter 7. The deadliest lie. If I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it. That thought destroys you, because perfection creates gaps. And gaps don't pause progress. They reset identity. You don't miss habits. You return to your default self. Chapter 8. The final form. By day 70, he didn't stay consistent. He lost the ability to stop. That's the difference. He wasn't disciplined. He was locked in. People started saying it. Your discipline is scary. Good. It should be. Because here's the truth. You don't build discipline. You erase the version of you that breaks it. This isn't growth. It's a replacement. And if you do this right, your old personality won't recognize you. No balance, no moderation, no return. Because once that version of you is gone, there's nothing left that knows how to quit. So don't ask, can I stay consistent? Ask the only question that matters. Are you ready to lose the part of you that's been holding you back this entire time?